bullshit. It was just like the 4th time or something. 3 times wasn't good enough. Holy shit, got to do this again.
Let's just get this shit podcast over with.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The same bullshit background.
Look at this.
Oh, look at this lighting. Fuck kind of
We're not going anywhere.
No, we're not. 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. When's that happening? Never.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And theys.
Welcome to the Brothers Fade Podcast.
Starring Griffin and Tony Ruth. This is the podcast where we go over everything boxing and MMA related.
You know what? Let's give him a round of applause.
Hey,
he's doing the intro, you know?
Thank you.
He's moving up.
I'm trying.
He's moving
Still
up.
the sidekick. I'm trying.
Alright, guys. You heard the man. This is the Brothers Fade Podcast. And today we have a great bunch of topics to talk about. And what better way to open this fight with?
Oh.
Losing $40 on a bet, and then $84.99 on a fight. But you couldn't. I guess I wouldn't say losing on the fight because it was great entertainment. You know,
it was worth it.
Yeah,
you got to experience it live. Mm-hmm. You know, so you can.
First
never
time
get
I
that
ever
back.
bought a pay-per-view by myself,
mm-hmm.
And we're obviously talking about the Spence and Crawford fight. Man, did I have high hopes for my boy Spence.
All that talk.
All that
talk.
Knowing damn well Crawford's power, I still had confidence in my boy Spence.
Right.
But man, was that defeat lopsided as fuck. One-sided, too, mind you. Like, what did we agree? Spence maybe won the first round, maybe?
And we've talked, and we actually have to go back and look because it might have been a complete wash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The judges had every one of them.
The judges had the first round.
Yeah.
So, like, we were just like, okay.
I mean, I'd like to go back and look at it again just to see.
Obviously, it doesn't matter. Yeah. He could have won 2 rounds.
Lopsided.
Lopsided. One-sided. Crawford. I mean, I didn't know he had that dog in him. Like, I'm speechless. Like, as you will see by our live reaction videos right here on screen, I was speechless. Like, if you watch him, I'm speechless. This guy, like, he was excited as hell. It's like you knew. It's like you knew, but you were still, blown away.
I have to admit, when we sat down to watch the fight, I was nervous. Wasn't for sure actually how it was going to go.
Same.
If we had watched that fight and the exact opposite had happened, I really wouldn't have been that surprised. I mean, I thought it was going to be like neck and neck.
Close.
Just a fight, you know?
Yeah, like a brawl.
And we got a guy hit a punching bag, basically.
But you know what?
For 9 rounds.
You saw Spence. He was not going down. He was going to fucking fight and fight and fight to the end, if he could.
Yep. He got up.
What did we not see? We didn't see Ryan Garcia do that.
Mm-mm.
We didn't see Spence quit. We didn't see him take a knee, and then when the ref hits 10 seconds, gets back up.
Nope. He don't have that dog in him.
You even saw, like, when the ref called it, Spence was still standing. He was like, come on, like, let me continue.
I actually have to say this, since we're talking about Ryan Garcia and not having that dog in him. What's up with all these fighters not having that dog in them? You know, like Pitbull Cruz. We'll get back to that later in the podcast. No dog.
I want to get to that actually right now, but I want to finish off with this Spence.
Yeah.
But we can admit, some fighters, they don't want to die in the ring for all these belts.
No, they don't.
They don't want to lose their perfect record.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw Spence, he was willing to put everything on the line, and he was willing to fight until the fucking end.
It's brave. It's brave on his part.
And you saw him, he took big shots, he got back up, he threw some of his own. But man, Crawford was on another level.
Oh.
He made Spence look so slow. Like,
well, they're accusing him of taking some sort of like a PED or something.
Yeah, PED, that's what it was.
Because of they didn't have the VEDA testing for the fight, which tests for like
but
banned substances.
These could be
and stuff
excuses
like that.
at the end of the day.
I think it's just excuses.
It's bullshit.
But
like we see when
he's going to fight again. Bud's going to fight again, and there's going to be Veda testing whether he fights Charlo or
Charlo. I think Charlo is just going to be his next hit.
There's talk that I think it's just talk, but the Tank would move up in weight. That's not going to happen. Yeah. Tank can't move up in weight.
Let's go back to the Spence Crawford. I do want to talk about this. This was mind blowing. Spence, Crawford handled things easily. He made someone who, he made someone like Spence look like a sparring partner like a sparring partner that you just get he looked like that you always get the best of.
Yep, he was that punching bag.
Yeah, he didn't make him look like a.
It's very strange to see. I was kind of. I mean,
and
I'm
happy. Him looking
I'm happy
calm
because I won.
Yeah.
A little disappointed in the ending, the whole fight really, because I would have rather it been just a dog fight, and then Bud got him, caught him with a shot. But I'm still happy, and it has been proven you can catch Moby Dick with a fishing pole. The fuck out of here. I also have to point this out. I actually thought I was going to lose the moment Eminem walked Bud down to the ring. I said, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
It's Eminem. Come on.
I know. I said, "My God, Griffin's just won this fight."
Why?
It's just, I don't know. It's embarrassing.
What's wrong with Eminem?
This is kind of embarrassing.
Are we disrespecting? No, I'm not. Are you disrespecting Eminem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who'd you want him to?
It's kind of embarrassing.
Who'd you want Crawford to walk out with? I Am Sue.
Oh, that would have been nice, right?
That would have been cool. That would have been
pretty good. Yeah.
I'm not saying. Hey, I'm not saying it would have been better than Eminem, but I'm saying it would have been cool.
It would have been very cool. When he fights Charlo, he's going to drive to the arena in a 5.0. That's what it is. That's next, right?
Okay.
Damn it.
Okay, let's talk about what's next for these two fighters. Now that Crawford has all these belts, he's been wanting to look at. He's been having his eyes looked at Charlo now.
What'd you think about him calling out Charlo as the ref is giving Spence an 8 count?
Badass.
How does he do that?
Charlo was like, "Oh, I don't give a shit about that. I'm fine, Canelo," which he should say.
And that is what he said.
He should say, "I'm fine, Canelo. I don't give a shit about Crawford right now. I'm working my eyes on Canelo. Working my eyes. I'm focusing on Canelo."
Yeah.
So that's what's probably going to happen. If Charlo wins, loses, draws, whatever against Canelo, whatever happens, because boxing's unpredictable, he's going to fight Bud.
Right.
But what does Spence do now? I don't want to see him retire. Some people are saying, like Stephen A. Smith, saying he should retire. But I don't want to see him fight Bud again.
Stephen A. Smith is kind of a jackass, so you can't. You don't know
I respect that guy. I respect that guy.
I don't respect him.
Whatever. I don't want to see him fight Bud again, though. What does Spence do? Because he lost all his belts and his perfect record. He kind of tanked a bit.
Mayweather says that he should fight at middleweight. He said if he was Spence, and I'm sure he has a lot of say. Boxers, I think, probably listen to him because of the 50-0.
Also, he knows boxing.
He's been around it all his life.
If Floyd Mayweather's telling you something, I would strongly advise
he grew
to
up
take it to heart.
So yeah, I would listen to everything he said.
Yeah.
He said that he doesn't belong fighting at this low weight. Mm-hmm. He thinks he should fight at 158, 164. Yeah. And 164 is Canelo. That's Canelo's weight. He can't beat Canelo.
Well, I
don't care how much weight he puts on. Spence can't beat Canelo.
Why would he go to Canelo? Who else is in? I don't really know all of my divisions, but
right, I don't either, and that's fair.
So the safe bet is for him to move up, right?
I think so.
Because he could have moved up.
He's not beating Bud at that weight.
Yeah, he could have moved up like multiple times before this fight, but he was like, "But you have to respect Spence." He was like, "No, I want this Bud fight. I'm not moving up without fighting Bud."
Right.
I respect so much of Spence. But with Crawford, think about it. Some people are like, just think about this. Some people are already comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. Is he better or not?
They'll always say that, though.
But, like, let's say he beats Charlo, and Charlo...
let's say he beats Charlo. Now, let's not get carried away. Bud would be moving up, again, another weight division. Mm-hmm. This would be, what, 2 or 3, right? Those are bigger boys. Charlo's just a bigger guy.
And he knows that weight division.
Yeah. And he's felt the power from that weight division.
But...
You know what I'm saying?
But hear me out. He beats Bud. He beats Charlo. And gets his 3 belts. Because Charlo had 4.
And he lost to WBO.
That got vacated, and who?
Tim Tszyu.
Tim Tszyu got it. So this whole undisputed versus undisputed with Canelo and Charlo means fuck all now. Mm-hmm. But if you think about it, he beats Charlo. Bud does. Gets 3 more belts. Goes fights Tim Tszyu. Takes his belt. Mm-hmm. 3-time undisputed. Right? 3-time?
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
That would be 3.
He'd be 42-0.
42-0.
You could say, just saying, you could say he's better than Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, you could
say that fucking with a stamp on it. Stamp it and say that.
8 less. So even if this was to happen and he was to beat Charlo, take those 3 belts, he was to beat Tim Tszyu, take that WBO belt. You're 42-0, 8 less fights than Mayweather, more knockouts than Mayweather. Just right off the top of my head.
Knockout part don't matter.
Right off the top of my head,
the knockout part don't matter though. You got it. It's more what they accomplish in that legacy.
It looks better on paper though.
It does.
With the 3-time undisputed, more knockouts in less fights. 42-0, 50-0.
Yeah. I don't like to count the knockout part. It does look better on paper, but knockouts don't matter. It's more what you accomplish. Mayweather, he's fought everybody in his era of another era of another era. You know,
True.
he's got his belts.
Yeah.
Bud is doing the same. Fighting multiple eras, getting more belts. Mm-hmm. But if he accomplishes 3-time undisputed, I mean...
You have to give it to him.
You have to give it to him. I'll tell you, though, another person on this list that we need to start talking about and move away from the Spence and Crawford, because we've said what we need to say, you know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one fucking person. And he was on the undercard of the Spence and Crawford. Fucking Pitbull Cruz. In that performance against some tall kid.
Which was the guy he fought was incredibly orthodox. His stance, the whole thing. I mean, he looked very weird. It worked, apparently, because...
Yeah. Like...
Because
me and you are already excited for the Spence and Crawford, and we had no idea what we were expecting. Mm-hmm. Like a one-sided, ass-beaten, demolish everything. Like it was entertaining throughout, never boring. Like our eyes were just hooked on the entire time. Mm-hmm. And we did not expect what we were going to watch, but we knew it was going to be big. We knew it was going to be entertaining. But we were also excited for the undercard. The other fights... We didn't know these people, but we watched them, and they were pretty good. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For
undercard,
like entertaining. Like, I never was bored or was like, oh, come on, let's,
I mean, I was ready for...
Yeah.
I was hoping every
fight ended in the first round.
Yeah, with knockouts.
Yeah.
You know, but...
Like, they kept me entertained. Like, they were like a little appetite for the main event. But this Pitbull fight, we were also excited for. Because we've seen Pitbull.
Yeah.
We've seen him against Gervonta Davis.
Oh,
we've seen how he came back from Gervonta Davis, got a belt, like, was being a fucking ferocious dog. Mm-hmm. But that fight against, really don't know this kid, but I really don't care. He did not have that dog in him.
No.
And goddamn, that was like...
It was very disappointing.
Yeah.
And so when you
you have to think, it was entertaining because, like, how much trash we were giving it. Like, and we were, like, focused on it. You know, we weren't falling asleep. We were just focused, like, what happened. So it was entertaining in its own way, but very disappointing in another, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, so... such a high
Pitbull
expectation
won.
Of that fight because you want to see Tank and Pitbull go at it again. Now, after that performance, do you really want to see it? Because it looks like
he
Tank
better
would
not
knock
call
him
out,
right?
He better not call out Tank. And don't get me wrong, I know it was a taller opponent.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Those are hard
to... You think he struggles with taller opponents? Because Tank's right there in his face. They're both short and 5'5", so...
It was a taller opponent, so I get it's kind of hard to, like, control as much when, you know, we got someone who's, like, got a longer reach, got taller.
But fighters have figured that out.
Yeah.
Forever, how to...
and
the guy that he fought, I don't believe, is, like...
The way he, like, that other guy just punched, like, it was, like...
Yeah, it's very weird.
It was, like, kind of like a... It was like kind of like a, like it was like he wasn't even like protecting his face, you know. Like I've been taught in boxing to like kind of like I know it's kind of hard to squat and like pop one, you know. You have to like it's kind of hard to commit, you know. But this man was just like throwing, and Tate could have like hit, and then Pitbull could have came back with an overhand, but this guy was like just like it was like so sloppy too. It was like better not call out Tank after that. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Because Tank, we've seen him with taller people. You know, he studies well, and
then he smacks
just you. The way the guy was like throwing. I'll give that guy one credit though. Had a chin. He was taking Pitbull's shots.
Taking shots.
Taking it.
Because he didn't have his hands up the entire fight.
I know.
The entire fight.
And the thing is,
what did you think he was? Roy Jones Jr.?
I had the camera recording us for the reaction. Man.
Yeah.
I was expecting like a highlight reel. It would be like, oh God, Pitbull, whoa.
Yeah, I was very disappointed because I really wanted to see the Pitbull Cruz and
he won, but like
rematch.
It was a split decision.
Now, if they fight,
let's be honest,
and we talk about it on this podcast, I'm going to tell you, Tank's knocking him out in probably like third, fourth round. That's how I feel now, and I wouldn't have said that before. Oh. Like he struggled with this dude. What do you think Tank's going to do to you the next time he gets a hold of you? Damn, like you just ruined it for me. But he can have an off day, right? Like he can. I mean, however the matchup is, maybe that just was an ugly matchup for him. He gets in there with Tank. Maybe he beats Tank next time
because Tank is at his level.
It's just it's just the expectation of what we were, wanting to see and
that Pitbull fight. That Pitbull fight. The best way to put it, that shit stank more than your mother's goldfish.
Oh, and that's stanky.
Think about your mother's goldfish for a second. Think about how stanky, musty, crusty. Ugh.
Because it's your mother's goldfish.
Yeah, not your father's.
No.
Not your father.
It's your mother's goldfish. Jesus.
Like that shit. Oh, that's like the equivalent of your mother's goldfish, that fight. Put that fight and your mother's goldfish together. You won't see a difference.
No. You could close your eyes, you wouldn't be able to tell which one was what.
And that's all I want to say about this fight.
That's it.
I'm not going to drag on too long. We got other topics to talk about.
Let's go.
And
like the kids say.
We're done. Joking. Alright. So I want this next topic. This was another fight I've been excited for. And just waiting for my guy to test himself and prove that he is a monster. Just before the Spence and Bud fight, we had another fight. Like a few days before. And that fight was obviously the Stephen Fulton and Naoya Inoue. I had my boy Naoya winning because that's my favorite Japanese fighter. Fucking, I'm gonna ride with that guy to the very end. I had my boy winning against Fulton, and I know it was gonna be a hard one for Naoya because Fulton's so good. Naoya was moving up a weight class for this guy.
Oh, the fact that he moved up a weight class.
But man,
very impressive.
Naoya gave Fulton a fucking ass beating of a lesson. He gave him a boxing lesson. He gave Stephen Fulton a boxing lesson. And just clapped his ass cheeks. God damn. Did you see that finish? Did you see that finish, bro?
Those were ass cheeks. Oh, yeah. Oh, incredible. And he knew he had him. And did you see how ferocious he went to go finish it?
And the thing is,
man.
Stephen Fulton was on the ropes, celebrating before he even finished him. Like, when he knocked down Fulton, he was on the ropes, like, let's go. And then he had to, he was like, oh, Fulton's back up. Okay, let me just handle this. And then he fucking put him up.
Oh, yeah.
Best Japanese fighter in the whole history of boxing. You gotta give it to this guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
And if you don't like him, you don't like boxing. If you have a problem with him being Chinese, you don't need to watch boxing.
Japanese.
Sorry, Japanese. Oh, was I talking about Big Bang Zhang?
God damn you and your Big Bang Zhang. Okay, we get it. I'm like sorry. Him now. He beat Joe Joyce. You weren't expecting that. Now you're on the
Big
Bang Zhang.
If you have a Chinese flag outside your house or a Japanese flag outside your house and you're flying it high, maybe you're flying it for that reason. You know what I mean? You can do it. You don't have to have an American flag out there if you don't want to.
We get it. You Big Bang Zhang's your guy.
Yeah.
Naoya Inoue my guy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who gave a better performance? Big Bang messed that. Obviously, it's hard to compare because heavyweight and lighter weight.
Oh, I would say your guy definitely. If you're judging that, yeah. I mean, he's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
And all he needs, really, I don't know if Fulton's a big enough name for him.
I'd say that was a good name for him moving up a weight class to fight that guy.
Yeah.
Like, for him moving up a weight class, that was a good name for him to beat.
But who else is in that division? I'm sure I don't know. Can he gain whatever...
My only concern, that's my only concern. How much more weight can he gain before someone do
what he can do
before someone stops him? How much times can he move up and get more belts before he gets to a weight class that he won't be comfortable in?
Prime example. If you go back and you do your research on Roy Jones Jr., how many times he moved up in weight classes because he was literally mowing through everybody, fighting everybody, and it wasn't until he got up into he was less than a middleweight and ended up being heavyweight champion of the world. Ah, man, Yeah. So it's incredible how much weight your guy can put on. I mean, because that guy only he knows and his trainers know.
Naoya was known for his fast, his explosiveness, his powerfulness. How much more weight until that slows him down, And
then how long does it take you to put on that weight to keep your skill set?
Mm-hmm.
That's my own concern. It doesn't happen over time. That's what they were talking about with Bud. Everybody was dodging Bud, and his trainer said they let him grow into the weight. Everybody dodged him until they couldn't dodge him no more. So he's years into this, and now he's used to that weight. So... I don't know how long that takes.
My only concern for Naoya, how much more weight until you lose your
speed,
your everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to worry about that anytime soon. But man, all I have to say about the Fulton and Naoya was, wow. That's one word, just wow. This guy is so special. This guy is he is solidifying his legacy every fight.
I can't wait to see him.
Every fight's not boring. I've never seen a boring Naoya fight. I've seen him tested. I've seen him tested before. Never boring, though.
Never really checked him out. You were the one that put me on to him, talking about him. Wasn't really excited because, like I said, in those lower weight divisions and never really followed it. But once I seen how he ended this thing, I can't really wait to...
and we're talking about Stephen Fulton here.
Yeah, I can't wait to see his next fight and who that would be against, because it's going to be an elite fighter in those divisions. So I'm ready to see what he can do. And if he could put on the weight that was needed, I would really love, because everybody's talking about if he could put the weight on to fight Tank. That would be incredible, because Tank is amazing and your guy is amazing. But how much weight that is, I'm not sure. They're talking about it, but does that take 2 years before that fight happens? And then how old is your guy compared to Tank? See, I haven't really done that research, but if that could happen,
I don't know if I want to see that.
Excited. So, yeah, you'd have to pick one.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I don't know.
Oh, you have to think about that.
I don't know. I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
Huh?
I don't want to see that.
Huh?
I'll tell you one fight though that I want to see between two guys I like. October 14th.
What's happening on that day?
KSI and Logan Paul are back on the same card. Okay. Not fighting each other, mind you. But KSI's the main event, and Logan's the co-main event. And this is going to be a fucking huge card. For YouTuber boxing, this is going to be a big card, and it's going to do massive numbers. We have KSI fighting Tommy Fury to show Jake Paul if he can do it. If he can do what Jake couldn't do. And we have Logan Paul fighting Dillon Danis.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I got Logan winning, and Logan better. Oh man, Logan better not go do a decision with Dillon Danis, because that only boosts fucking Danis' ego way more. And you know, if he goes to a decision, he's gonna argue that he won that fight. Damn well. Point is, if Logan lets Dillon Danis go to a decision, Jesus fuck. I hope that God that does not happen and Logan just fucking stops Danis. But that might not happen because Dillon Danis has been posting a lot recently. And some can argue is getting into the head of Logan Paul. Because Logan Paul is getting engaged to his fiancée. Mm-hmm. And Dillon Danis has been posting photos of Logan's fiancée with other men. Leonardo DiCaprio, LeBron James. And Logan has got so butthurt that he's filed a lawsuit for Dillon to stop talking about his fiancée. And he's trying to have Misfits silence Dillon Danis. Well, is what is speculated. Because, Dillon was saying how Misfits was trying to silence him. Mm-hmm. And some say that's because of Logan Paul, because he already has filing the lawsuit. So you could say Dillon Danis is getting in the head of Logan.
I'll tell you what, I love that. He's it's kind of like what 50 Cent did to rappers. But, man, if you can talk about somebody's girl and get them so emotional, that's a way to beat somebody. Honestly.
And Dillon Danis is promoting this.
Head. Yeah.
He is fucking promoting.
That's gangster.
I don't like Dillon Danis, but I respect the hell of how much he's promoting and how much he's making a name for himself and for this event. Because KSI, Tommy Fury, and Logan Paul, they're not promoting this as much. Mm-hmm. Besides saying the obvious things like KSI, I'm going to do what Jake Paul couldn't do and beat a professional and knock out a professional boxer. I'm going to fuck shit up. And we'll say who we think will win that. And Logan Paul's obviously been like, oh, I'm going to fight Dildo Danis or making some dumb nicknames. But Dillon Danis has been promoting this way more, and I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
I mean,
it's gangster.
He's playing the evil guy.
Oh yeah.
And some say you
gotta like it.
Some say is Dillon Danis going too far? Because me and you think when fights are promoted, leave the family out, know, because they're not fighting.
But the thing is, and if you can get pictures of her with other men that possibly hit, it's boxing, possibly hit.
We get it.
You have to do that. Oh man, why wouldn't you do that? It's incredible. I love it. And if it shakes you up, then man.
Because me and you don't think leave the family out because they're not fighting.
There's a point you don't cross.
Yeah, like Conor McGregor, he crossed so many points.
Way over line.
But with Dillon Danis, I don't think he's crossing as much. Because these are public photos.
Yeah. And it's not his wife.
Yeah.
It's his girlfriend.
But the thing is, the fight game's the fight game.
Yeah.
You do whatever you can to promote and sell tickets. Yeah. Mike Tyson says he's a fan of people who can put asses in seats.
Yeah.
You do whatever you do whatever you can. Play the evil villain, play the good guy, do whatever you can to get people to watch this fight. Bring as much fans, bring as much views, anything. And that's what Dillon Danis is doing.
And he has my attention.
He's everybody's attention.
He has my attention.
He's trending.
Man, you talking about somebody's girl?
You
talking about somebody's girl? You talking about my girl, motherfucker?
And the guy you're talking about the girl to is suing you?
Mm-hmm. Man. You say my girl's been giving this stuff up to everybody.
So let's talk about our prediction for this prime card. Because we don't know the undercard, we just know these two fights.
Right. So,
Logan Paul and Dillon Danis. Logan Paul.
I'm going Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, he ain't shaking him up enough.
But there's a chance. I'm not even going to say there's a chance. With the whole Dillon Danis, he pulled out of the KSI fight. He was scheduled to fight KSI, but pulled out because he wasn't ready, wasn't prepared, didn't have coaches, even though he said that he didn't need anything and that he could beat any day of the week, but then he pulled out. So he looked like a dumbass for doing that. Mm-hmm. But there's a simulation in the contract where if Dillon Danis pulls out, he has to pay like $100,000 or a few, a good chunk of money in damages, Yeah. But if he does pull out, there's an opponent lined up, and that's Hasim Rahman Jr. Some of you may know Hasim Rahman was scheduled to fight Jake Paul, but pulled out because of the weight issues. I would love to see Logan Paul and Hasim Rahman Jr. And if Logan Paul could beat Hasim Rahman Jr., not only does he I'll admit, take away one of Jake's, opponents, kind of in a way, and is trying to outdo his brother. But he beats a professional boxer before Jake Paul on his after a 2-year layoff, and basically gets to Rahman first.
Right.
I would love to see this fight, but I don't think it should happen right now. After Logan Paul just came back from fighting Floyd Mayweather 2 years ago and getting his ass kicked.
That's fair.
I would love to see this, but not right now. Soon. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping for this Logan and Dillon Danis.
Year or two from now.
Yeah, this Logan and Dillon Danis. I mean, I don't think Dillon Danis is a really good opponent because he's an MMA submission guy.
Right.
And he hasn't fought in 2 years, so maybe this is probably good because both haven't fought in 2 years. Or I guess for Dillon it's been 4 years actually, and Logan has been 2.
Oh wow!
But I mean, I think Logan Paul still has it to put this guy away.
Yeah. And
enough said about that. But with the main event, KSI and Tommy Fury, I know I've been talking a lot, and I don't want to try and talk as much. This is your show as well.
You keep doing it.
So you start first with the KSI and Tommy. Any predictions? What you think? What happens?
KSI Tommy.
What happens if KSI beats? Does Tommy win?
Nobody wants to see
anything.
Nobody wants to see Tommy win. We're talking about basically KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, but basically KSI and Jake Paul. We both want to see that. I got super excited because you were watching this Jake Paul guy that I'd never heard of, and then started watching him. Actually, Jake Paul is the reason we have this podcast. Jake Paul is the reason we had the Bud Crawford fight that we watched. Just getting excited about boxing again.
Oh, I guess,
so,
yeah.
I mean, it kind of went that way.
For a second, I was confused, but yeah, you're technically right.
So KSI, I want to see KSI win. Nobody wants to see Tommy, and we ultimately want to see KSI and Jake Paul.
Of course.
That's the whole thing.
So since you have KSI getting the job done, how does he get the job done? When does he get the job done? Because it's 8 rounds, I think, which is the first time KSI has gone 8 rounds. He's only done 6 rounds, and obviously this is an exhibition thing.
It's gonna be a decision.
You don't have to
Split.
say. Oh, split. Okay.
Split.
Ooh. Okay. Tommy Fury going.
I'm going to say split.
Tommy Fury going another split decision with a YouTuber. The so-called wannabe world champion.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you see it?
He's making money, though.
You see a split?
I want KSI to win, obviously. I want
course.
KSI to win, No doubt. KSI.
But how's it end? Is it decision? Is it knockout?
I'd say decision.
Retired?
Decision. I'm going to... As much as I want to see KSI knock out Tommy...
Oh, I do too. I want to see it.
I'm going to say decision, but I'm going to say unanimous.
Oh, he's going to whip his ass.
Or at least somewhat convincingly, Because I think KSI's going to be too wild for Tommy,
right.
And he's not going to know what the fuck to do. But then again, Tommy's got, good reach. And we've seen KSI get hit with shots against lower opponents that he shouldn't have got caught with. So that's why I'm going safe side decision. And but if he goes to a decision, if he wins against Tommy, he might retire, Yeah. But he's also said he might let let Jake and Tommy fight to see who he fights.
He's not retiring after that fight.
He better not.
He's not. He's just talking.
He better not.
Put something in Jake's head. They're fighting. Jake and KSI are fighting after this fight, is what I say.
So KSI, Tommy Fury. What should happen next is either Jake Paul and Tommy Fury 2 or KSI and Jake Paul. And all we can say is that this prime card will do numbers.
Oh, sure.
And be massive.
For real.
So that's why. So that's why I think it's time for us to fade out. Got anything else to say?
That's it. I'm fading out.
This podcast.
It still sucks.
Yeah, I mean, what's happening?
I know. We'll try to get better.